The year is 21-24. Wrexham have won 2 out of the last 5 Premier League titles. Man City have just been relegated again. And Bournemouth, Fulham and Brentford have all won the Champions League. That's right, we've travelled 100 years into the future to see what football will be like in 21-24. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for England. Let's jump in and take a closer look. Starting off in the Bundesliga, which has been by far the most boring league of the lot. But don't worry, we won't be here long. Unsurprisingly, the Bundesliga has mainly been dominated by Bayern Munich. There's a few Dortmund titles in there, some from Leverkusen, but mostly Bayern Munich. But yeah, disappointing Germany. Let's move on. The top team in France in 21-24 have had a meteoric rise from tier 4. US Bologna? I think. Is that how you say it? Not sure. USBCO. Yeah. It's actually their 7th title, and they've all happened within the last 10 years of the save. And you'd expect with PSG being second in the table that they have also still been a top club in France. Wrong. I mean, they did win the league title last year, but before that, they hadn't won a league title in 64 years. During that time, Lille had a heavy period of dominance, Monaco and Rennes also helping themselves to quite a few league titles, but it looks like a period of USBCO dominance is on the cards for now. Here's a closer look at the Serie A table currently. Then Napoli sitting top of the league, or as we know in Football Manager, Parthenope have won the league. Not loads to talk about here either. It's mainly been dominated by the traditional big sides, with Napoli and Inter pulling away from the pack. Avellino have been the best of the rest in recent years and, of course, making that jump up from Serie B, but they are yet to win a title. Pisa, who you can see in 17th place in 21-24, did break the mold around the 2,100 year mark. They went back to back in Serie A, but since then, they've been on a pretty heavy decline. In recent years, they find themselves a yo-yo club between the top 2 divisions, and this time they've just escaped relegation. Sevilla have just stormed La Liga in 21-24 with 104 points, only losing 2 games. Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid and Barcelona make up the top 4. So again, similar to Germany and to Italy, the big traditional teams are still the teams leading the way. In fact, Real Madrid had a spell where they won 41 out of the 45 league titles before suddenly Sevilla got good and won 3 in a row. Sevilla are in a pretty good patch at the moment as well, winning 10 league titles and losing in the final of the Champions League on 2 separate occasions. We all know they'd rather win the Europa League anyway. The Cinch Premiership in 21-24 has been won by Rangers. Smashed out the park by Rangers as well. 91 points. Hibernian in second with 72. Celtic all the way down in 6th place. No European football for them next season. And looking at the past league champions, no league title win for Celtic since 2032. After that, Motherwell had a massive period of dominance. Aberdeen getting a couple of titles here and there. Rangers eventually worked themselves back on top. Hibernian coming through and won the title, but then a period of dominance from Partick Thistle. One league I don't know anything about is the Eredivisie. I know that Ajax are pretty good. PSV and Feyenoord, the other big teams, are recognised here, but this is how the table's looking in 21-24. Let me know if anything mad's happened in the comments down below. Here we go then, we're in England and we're going to work from the bottom up. Wycombe are the team who are victorious in the Vanarama National South, while Notts County win the North Division. Not too much to shout about here, but it gets better. In the National League, you can see there's a whole host of current Football League teams. Fleetwood have topped the pile this time round, heading back to League Football, whereas Wigan are going the other way, down to the National League North. My beloved Norwich City have found themselves in League 2, the 4th tier of English football, but they have just got promoted back to League 1 alongside Exeter, Watford and Southend United. Coventry City and Peterborough United are also amongst the other notable teams in this 4th tier. League 1 is where we find our first Premier League team of the video. Wolves in 16th, West Ham in 6th, and they've just lost in the playoff semi-final to Colchester. They also play in a brand new stadium with 109,000 capacity, the biggest stadium in the country. It's starting to get even more interesting now we head into the Championship. You'll see Chelsea sitting in 18th place. This is their 27th straight season in the 2nd tier. Current Premier League sides, Nottingham Forest and Luton Town, have both been relegated. Sunderland, Blackburn and Birmingham all finish over 100 points, and Woking are the team to take the 3rd promotion spot. You've got to feel sorry for the Blues here. Woking still play it in their Kingfield Stadium. 5,000 capacity. It's not very big, that, is it? They should probably swap with West Ham for a bit. Their manager's also got a mad trim. Here we go then. This is how the Premier League table looks in 21-24. At first glance, you see Arsenal at the top, Spurs in 2nd, and you think, not too much has changed. But the more you look, the more you see. Manchester City have just been relegated. Manchester United have just about survived. Wrexham and Brighton in the Champions League places. Preston only got 2 points. As we mentioned, Manchester United have just about survived relegation, and actually at this point in the save, they are a comfortable mid-table side. Nothing more, nothing less. They have only won a single trophy within the last 100 years, and that was the FA Cup in 2096. We mentioned right at the start of the video that Wrexham had a couple of Premier League titles to their name. They also have won the Champions League 3 FA Cups, a Super Cup, the Championship, League One, Carabao Cup, 4 Community Shields. They've won loads. Ryan Reynolds' dream really came true. But they're not the only English side, or English-based side, to win Champions Leagues. Over the last 100 years, Arsenal have won the Champions League 13 times. Everton have won it 8 times. Newcastle and Liverpool have won it 7 times. Brighton have won it 4 times. Man City another 3 times. Bournemouth, Wrexham, Fulham and Brentford all just the once. So out of the 100 Champions Leagues there have been, English sides have claimed 46 of them, as long as my maths is right. Here's a list of some of the recent winners. Leipzig have just won the most recent competition. Swapping European competitions, looking at the Europa League, Hull City have just claimed the 21-24 Europa League. A few of the other winners are quite surprising, but I do think Hull City are the best of the lot. They've just finished 14th in the Prem. Champions League football finishing 14th. Fair play. Maccabi Tel Aviv are amongst the winners of the Conference League with Excelsior also winning the competition. Some huge clubs in there as well. Barcelona, PSG, Man United, maybe not so huge. To go with their 4 Premier League titles, Brighton have also won 4 Premier Leagues, a Club World Cup, 4 FA Cups, 4 Europa Leagues, 3 Super Cups. The Seagulls have had a great time. Bournemouth have had great fun in the FA Cup, winning it 7 times, also 2 Europa Leagues, also a Premier League. It seems to be in this save that once you assert your dominance, you can normally stay there or thereabouts and win quite a few trophies over a shorter period of time. Everton, despite being £80 million in debt, are another good example. 8 Champions Leagues, as we mentioned, 29 league titles altogether now. A few of those have happened in real life before the 100-year sim. 2 FIFA Club World Cups, 4 Europa Leagues, 9 Super Cups, 1 Conference League, 13 Carabao Cups, and 14 Papa John's trophies. One last club to look at in detail, Brentford, and they've had quite a modest winning spree. Just the 1 Champions League, just the 1 FA Cup, just the 1 Europa League, the 1 Super Cup, 3 Premier Leagues, mind, but I mean, come on.
Let's not take the piss here.
If I haven't spoken about your club in detail, jump in the comments, tell me who you support, and I'll answer as many of you as possible. Let's look at international football. The most shocking World Cup result comes from the 2026 tournament, the upcoming tournament in real life, where Sweden became world champions with a win over Ukraine in the final. Not quite sure how it happened, but their run to the final was on the easy side. They beat Germany in the round of 16 after extra time, then they had to beat Paraguay and Uruguay on their way to the final. Not a bad run that, if you can get it. Other than Sweden, a lot of the expected nations have won the tournament. Having a quick look at the European Championships, you can see that Sweden also won that in 2032. Denmark have had their hands on the trophy a few times. The Netherlands again, England again, Spain again. So close for Scotland, who got beaten in the final in the year 2100. The wonder kid everyone is talking about in FM24, Lamine Yamal, certainly lived up to his hype. He bagged 7 Ballon d'Ors during his career. He spent nearly his whole career at Barcelona before spending 1 year out in Saudi Arabia at Al Nassr. The irony is real. Why do you do that? He was the last real player to win the prize back in 2037. Amongst the other real players, you see Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham as well, Kylian Mbappe getting a couple. In 2032, however, it was won by the Algerian Badreddine Bouhanani. Hopefully I've said that right. Not someone I've come across before either, so fair play to you. And there we have it. I think we've covered everything as concise and as quick as possible, so hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If there's anything I've missed, anything else you want to know, make sure you jump in the comments down below. Tell me about your club, a player who you've wanted to know about. While you're here, maybe you want to see how quickly you could get sacked in FM24 if you really try to. Well, if that sounds like a bit of you, click this video right here. It will take you there. Just click the thumbnail and you can watch it. You still here? You gonna watch it? If not, subscribe, yeah? Thank you.